Hello traders, checking in on the markets. Today we had a consolidation day out there. There were a lot of little clues pointing in that direction. We'll look at just what those clues were, and we'll look at the stock that is the most important stock as far as I'm concerned in the market and how it has been running the show over the last 2 days. Stay tuned. ChartGuys.com. Become a confident, effective, and informed trader. Join our community working together to learn the charts, generate profit, and achieve financial independence. Let's check out some charts. So first things first, what were our clues that it was going to be a consolidation day today? The first clue was we know we're overextended. That's not good enough because that has been the case for a few days at this point. But we're not going to lose sight of the fact that we were overextended on a lot of time frames on the bull move up recently. We had a scenario where the dollar started to bounce. So we were watching that base of $93 support on the 4-hour time frame, and the key resistance was 93.24. We broke that level. Didn't see a lot of follow through initially, but saw follow through right into the open, or I should say pre-market into the open. That follow through leading to the dollar bounce has led to helping the market pull back. We also saw our other sectors responding to the dollar before the broader market did in any meaningful way. We saw the metals dropping more significantly, and we saw crypto with a solid pullback. So again, I sit on the computer first thing in the morning, I check out the dollar, I say, okay, we held 93, we broke my 4-hour resistance, I see consolidation in metals and crypto, I say, okay, we're looking for consolidation in the broader market. The other factor is the most important stock in the market, Kodak. Just kidding, I wish I had more to say right behind it, would have gotten a lot of angry people. The most important stock in the market is Apple in my opinion because Apple has the largest holdings in QQQ and in a lot of tech sector ETFs. And we know the tech sector is the most important sector because it has the largest holdings in the S&P 500. So the last 2 days, Apple has been extremely volatile heading into its event, its news event, product event, whatever you want to call it. So we have Apple running the tech sector running the S&P 500. And when you see that kind of volatility, Apple was up over 6% yesterday and pulled back 3+% today. The market is essentially just following what Apple's doing. We're watching little clues, is XLF dropping, is XLV dropping, but for the most part, Apple has been running the show over the last 2 days. So the S&P 500. From here, look at the 12-hour time frame on the futures chart. That's certainly healthy consolidation at this point. It was a daily inside bar. If we see further downside and the daily inside bar breaks bearish into tomorrow, daily consolidation is underway. Lots of space for the daily higher low to form. One thing I'm watching overnight tonight, and we'll pull it up on QQQ, but we'll have to watch it on the futures chart, is this 15-minute potential falling wedge. We have the end of yesterday, consolidation. We have the low of this morning, the low of the afternoon, and then we rejected from resistance into the end of the day. This is the pattern that matters the most to me in QQQ in the short term, and I will be watching it overnight tonight. 3 touches of support, multiple rejections, 3-5 rejections from resistance. If this falling wedge on the 15-minute time frame breaks bullish, it's a 4-hour bull flag shaping up on QQQ. So as far as I'm concerned, this has been very minimal consolidation. It's kept the bulls in control for the most part, and I would have to see a clear bear break under that 15-minute downtrend line, which would require a breakdown towards 292 if I were going to negate that pattern as being important to me. IWM. So daily consolidation, could this be a daily bull flag? Absolutely. It's very healthy at this point. There are no red flags. If the bulls can regain the hourly trend in their favor, which means holding the low of today and breaking the high of today, our daily higher low is set, and we're looking right back up to the high of this move, 164.24. The bulls are hoping that this is just brief consolidation into continuation to keep that FOMO and hype going. In my opinion, the dollar is going to have a lot to do with whether that is the case or not. And of course, any bullish news, stimulus related or anything like that could only help. This is in the face of headlines of multiple companies halting vaccine trials, and you're not seeing it on the charts at all. So shaking that potential bearish cloud off. Daily inside bar for QQQ. If it breaks bearish, we look for the daily higher low, and we'll be watching for first hourly oversold conditions if we were to get a bear break. Healthcare, daily consolidation already underway. Need an hourly trend change back to the bulls to set a daily higher low. Again, tons of space for these daily higher lows to form. Some sectors have started consolidation, others have not. So far, IWM and XLV both have started daily consolidation, and SPY and QQQ have not because they're still daily inside bars. XLF earnings started today, bullish reaction pre-market, and then as soon as the bell rings, a very different tone. Daily consolidation clearly underway. Again, tons of space for a daily higher low, but what I'm watching is the 2-week time frame, which I've been highlighting for its equilibrium. And if we reject from 2601, we're going to stay in this tightening equilibrium potentially until the election. Biotech bulls, new all-time high, beast mode. Low of yesterday held. We broke it by a penny. It's a double bottom. And then just continuation. So no consolidation here, continuation. It's one of the only sectors to do that. Well, the other sector to do it was SMH, which is one of our lead bull sectors as well. SMH broke the high of yesterday. Very little follow through, but again, no daily consolidation underway at this point. Solar sector, I covered my short first thing this morning because we held the low of yesterday. If I were viewing this as a bear, I would look at that bounce, I would look at that support hold, and I would say, we held the low of yesterday by 11 cents, but we're still looking at anything under 73.90 as a lower high. And maybe I exit on a break of 74. I was viewing this as a bull. I'm in a bear position. I'm viewing it from the other perspective. And I'm saying to myself, and I guess I was live streaming, so I was saying it out loud, you hold that low of yesterday and you see that bull volume and that response, I'm exiting. I'm out my short. So I exited my short in the first 20 minutes of trading this morning, and it looks like a daily bull flag. It's an extremely healthy sector still at this point. The VIX, still not a whole lot going on. A little bit of a daily bounce, but anything under 29.90 means who cares? So we're watching that level. The dollar, 4 hours due for consolidation. If the 4 hour pulls back, we'll be watching to see if the futures charts respond bullish. Bigger picture, daily time frame for the dollar. We know we're looking for a weekly higher low. We have to be cautious as bulls of any asset, whether it's metals, crypto, or stocks, have to be cautious if we confirm a weekly trend change. From where we stand, we need $1.25. And we are currently $1.75 above our support. Daily time frame, anything under the more important level for me is 94.03 is just a daily lower high, but it's a sizable enough bounce that we can be watching for the bulls to try and set up a daily trend change. I am a way more confident bull because, again, right now I have exposure in SPY long-term no touch, USMJ positions, and Bitcoin swing position. So I want a weak dollar, and I am not thrilled about the size of the green candle today. Gold responding very negatively to that dollar bounce. Gold daily trend change with no follow through keeps me cautious and patient. The weekly time frame could be setting our lower high. And then we're looking right back at the low of consolidation, 1848, if that is the case. Silver, same thing, daily time frame still in an uptrend, but again, a daily bull break with very little follow through, keeping us cautious of the weekly lower highs that may be being set. Miners stood out today. Look at that daily candle. Closing up near the high of the day, big bounce off the low. And again, you look at gold and you look at silver on the daily and you look at SPY on the daily. You know, oftentimes we can point and say, well, the market had a big bull day and the miners are traded on the market, so they benefited from that. Not the case. SPY closed near the low, metals closed near the low, and miners closed near the high. So I don't know if there's an individual miner out there that had some news that lifted the sector as a whole. Let me know if that's the case. But otherwise, it's definitely, again, this is why we're always watching correlations, because that stands out. And we could say the miners are definitely in a more bullish standing than the metals at the moment. Oil trying to change the daily trend, or trying to set a daily high or low. Pretty solid bounce. I don't see a clear 4 hour trend change yet. So we will need to see a higher low and higher high for us to say that a daily higher low has been established. If we were to see a bullish reaction to the inventory report tomorrow, daily higher low would be 39.04, and then the resistance of 41.47 and 41.72 are then key. Natural gas daily inside bar, but down at the low of the day. So further pullback, potentially losing the 4-hour EMA 12 support. We're confirming the 4-hour downtrend. So we'll be watching for a daily higher low. Bears top fishing 264 and hoping for a pretty sizable pullback from here. Let's see, trade today. I had an Apple Oversoul bounce trade. Let's see where Apple stands because it's so important. So Apple, huge day yesterday. Big pullback today on their event, sell the news event. Not surprising at all when you go up 6.5% the day before. 4-hour time frame for Apple clarity. Watching for an equilibrium. We're looking for the higher low, and then we'll watch for a lower high over the next couple days. So I played the Oversoul bounce first thing this morning. I was a bit patient. Had a good entry, did some quick flips where I sold half for maybe a 75-cent gain, re-entered the half, sold it again for a 50-cent gain, and then let my half remaining position ride until the 123s. Made an attempt to play off the low of the day on the event starting, stopped out. CGC I had to play. So here's an example of CGC where you have the stars aligning as far as multiple indications in your favor. If I'm making a tally mark as to what is favoring the setup, for this one we had a big pullback down 7% plus from yesterday. The low of yesterday is 1806. That's key because I'm looking to make a play off of 1806 support in 5-minute oversold conditions and 15-minute oversold conditions. So I said, I was live streaming, I said, if we get down to the mid 1820s, if we get down to 1820s, I'm interested in a play. I missed this one because I was distracted, but I was ready for the next one. As soon as we broke the low of the day, I entered. And at that point in time, why I was confident as well, 15-minute RSI was down at 20. 15-minute RSI crushed, 5-minute RSI oversold, low of yesterday's support. Those are the stars aligning for a bounce play. So what I ended up doing was entering half. I filled the low 1820s. I sold half in the low mid 1840s, knowing we were just looking for a 5-minute lower high. I then re-entered half on a new low of the day. I sold that half for a 10-cent gain. At that point in time, my position was break even at $17.99. And unfortunately, I exited on a loss of the 5-minute uptrend here before the CEO went on CNBC, which led to a little mini short squeeze move. Nothing huge, but definitely would have been nice to have been holding those shares up to that point. And that's where, you can't go back and forth and say woulda, coulda, shoulda in markets. Because I sold at 1837 or something along those lines here. And it was, oh, good decision, good decision, good decision. Oh, bad decision. I made the wrong decision. I should have been holding. You're going to be able to find 1.5 million different examples because you're not going to sell the top and you're not going to buy the bottom. So you can't get caught up in the woulda, coulda, shouldas, especially when it's unknown news events coming out of nowhere. So that's where we stand as we head into tomorrow. USMJ space seeing some healthy consolidation. I've continued to keep my focus on that sector into the election. That's my sector of choice. And we'll see what tomorrow brings. Keep an eye on that 15-minute pattern on the NASDAQ futures. And let's see if 12-hour and 4-hour bull flags are indeed forming. Have a good rest of your day. Do good things. We'll see you tomorrow. So I played catch with a friend the other day, and it brought back a ton of nostalgia of thousands of hours of catch growing up. And then I thought a different mindset. I looked at my house in a way that I've never looked at it before in terms of if I'm 12 years old and I've got a ball, how am I using this house? I used to throw the ball off the roof, off the side of the house, all different ways. And I saw this big, beautiful brick, and it's now the perfect workout routine. Kale, lettuce, some kind of Chinese spinach, cabbage, radish, onions.